Hello, Zedekai121 here with an overview of the upcoming event character, Edward, or as he's known in Japan, Gilbert. I forgot to mention this last video, but big thanks to DecidiaDB for some of the English translated names and Famitsu for all the info I gather for my videos. We're covering a damn good character today, so let's just get right into him. I should have come Maria last time since she was pretty underrated. Edward's skill 1, Bard Song, raises party brave by 30% of his max brave and then triggers a 4-hit group magic brave plus HP attack which deals proportional damage. A times 1.6 multiplier is added when attacking a single target and has 150% overflow. This skill will inflict a 40% defense down on all targets for 6 turns, and it grants Edwards 10 turns of Hero's Rhyme. Bard Song has 8 uses in total. The buff, Hero's Rhyme, raises the party's attack, stolen brave overflow limit, and grants brave regen. This buff benefits Edward's allies more than himself, and this buff has 2 levels which will be covered right now. At 1 level, 20% attack, 10% overflow, and brave regen is granted for Edward, and 40% attack, 20% overflow, and a higher potency brave regen is granted for allies. If Edward takes any form of damage, the duration of this buff is decreased by 1, but honestly, you don't really need to worry about it since he's probably hiding somewhere anyways. At 2 levels, 40% attack, 20% overflow, and a higher potency brave regen is granted for Edward, and 60% attack, 30% overflow, and an even higher potency brave regen is granted for allies. Hero's Rhyme's durations will not decrease if it's at 2 levels. See what I mean about not having to worry about Hero's Rhyme's duration being cut. Edward's skill 2, Hide, raises party brave by 50% of his max brave and grants him 6 turns of budding courage, dispelling awakening courage at the same time. This skill has no action delay and doesn't consume the turn count, and while budding courage is active, this skill becomes return. The buff, budding courage, grants Edward 20% max brave, 20% attack, 100% evasion, and an HP regen effect. Return is a 5-hit magic brave plus HP attack with 180% overflow and has a brave refund of 30% of damage done. This will grant him 6 turns of awakened courage, dispelling budding courage, and even better, this doesn't consume a skill use. Speaking of which, this skill has a total of 9 uses. On the other hand, Awakened Courage grants him 60% max brave and attack. For notable passives, his C54 moderately raises party initial brave and max brave while Edward is buffed, his C58 moderately raises Edward's attack and slightly raises his speed while he is buffed, and his C68 slightly raises party initial brave and attack. Edward's LD ability, Lullaby, extends duration of debuffs inflicted by him on all enemies by 1 turn, sets all enemy brave to 0 except for those who are broken, and inflicts 5 turns of sleep. The party's brave is raised by 80% of Edward's max brave, and this skill has 3 uses in total. The debuff, Sleep, lowers defense by 20% and the affiliated target will be unable to act, and when dispelled, the target is delayed by 1 turn. If this sounds overpowered, I'll just say that the duration of sleep decreases by 1 turn whenever the affiliated target gets attacked by any form of damage. Note that the duration decrease occurs after a finishing burst when in burst mode. His LD limit breaks grants him a 60% attack boost and the limit breaks are shown above. Please pause the video to read at your own leisure. Edward's EX ability, Mystic Waltz, is a 6-hit group magic brave plus HP attack that deals total damage. A times 1.6 multiplier is added when attacking a single target and inflicts 1 level of spoony noise on all targets for 6 turns. This EX has a base recast speed of normal. The debuff, Spoony Noise, is a 3-level debuff with improving effects as the level goes up. At 1 level, it lowers initial brave by 40%. At 2 levels, a 40% max brave down effect is added. At 3 levels, a 40% attack down effect is added, and even better, it prevents brave gains, and by that, it has a UVX debuff-like effect where the character cannot raise their brave through green text. The limit breaks are shown above. Please pause the video to read it at your own leisure. When Edward's EX is realized, the ability will now extend all existing debuffs inflicted by him by 1 turn. The skill's potency is tremendously increased, and the skill will now have 120% overflow. While buffed, Edward will also gain access to Brave Double Plus and HP Double Plus. Brave Attack Double Plus raises party rate by 20% of Edward's max Brave and triggers a 3-hit magic Brave attack, while HP Attack Double Plus is a 3-hit magic Brave plus HP attack with 120% overflow, and raises the party rate by 20% of damage dealt. His bonus sphere, buff success initial boost all shorter, raises party initial Brave and max Brave for 5% for 3 turns when the user grants a buff. At 1 out of 3, Edward's max Brave and attack are raised by 60%. At 2 out of 3, he will start out with 6 turns of Awakened Courage and 10 turns of Hero's Rhyme 2. Additionally, the first skill he uses is free, excluding certain abilities. 1 level of spoony noise is also inflicted on all enemies for 6 turns when a wave starts. At 3 out of 3, the skill will now raise party max Brave by 30% of Edward's max Brave before the Brave hits. The Brave hits is increased to 8, and the skill's potency is tremendously increased. The stolen Brave overflow limit is increased to 150%. As for recommended artifact passives, Edward would want his C50, Quest of Damsian, which would raise his initial Brave and max Brave by 5% while either variant of Hero's Rhyme is active. And he would want either max Brave plus 330 or attack plus 108 as a secondary, with max Brave plus 330 taking priority. Finally, his C65, all Brave heal buff longer, raises the party's Brave based on Edward's max Brave, and extends the duration of all buffs on him by 2 turns. This skill has a total of 3 uses. Anyways, as shown, Edward is a superb support. Oh my god, my video's getting hijacked, help!
Palum game!
Alright, I should cover the character who gets his EX plus on this event, Palum. If his EX is realized, his EX abilities, which is Stardust by the way, potency is greatly increased and now has 120% overflow. The EX cast speed is also slightly increased. His bonus sphere, Weak Boost Longer, raises the user's max Brave by 10% when hitting target weakness. At 1 out of 3, Palum's max Brave is increased by 40% and his attack is increased by 50%. At 2 out of 3, he will start out with 8 turns of Dark Arts and Dark Wisdom, and Brave Attack will become Brave Attack Plus and HP Attack will become Dual Cast, both for 8 turns. His recast gauge will also be set to max. At 3 out of 3, Stardust becomes a 4-hit group magic Brave plus HP attack, raising Palum's Brave by 50% of damage dealt, and then follows up with a 7-hit group magic Brave plus HP attack. The overflow limit of the skill also becomes 180%. Oh, don't skip to the end yet, because Palum also gets a Ryuk with his EX+. The effect of his C55, Bluff Extension, goes as follows. The attack up effect on Dark Arts is improved, and the increase goes as follows. 40% if Bluff is used, 80% if Plus Variant is used, and 120% if the Double Plus Variant is used. The skill now triggers a 6-hit Ice Magic Brave plus HP attack with 180% overflow after the Brave gain instead of a normal HP attack. Brave Attack Plus now has 6 Brave hits with tremendously increased potency. The effects of the C60, Vicidian Ice Crystal Extension, goes as follows. The max Brave up effect from Dark Wisdom is improved, and the Stolen Brave Overflow up effect is added to the buff itself. The increase goes as follows. Plus 40% max Brave up and 10% overflow with Vicidian Ice Crystal, 70% max Brave up and 20% overflow if Plus Variant is used, and 100% max Brave up and 30% overflow if Double Plus Variant is used. The Brave hits is increased to 8 with a tremendous potency increase, and the splash damage dealt is increased as follows. 50% splash with Vicidian Ice Crystal, 70% splash with Plus Variant, and 90% splash on the Double Plus Variant. The 100% splash dealt with the Great Vicidian Ice Crystal is unchanged. Oh, the skill is 150% overflow, but for some reason it wasn't covered on the Famitsu article. Dual Cast Brave hits is increased to 6 with a tremendous potency increase, now has 120% overflow, and now deals 50% splash damage. Finally, his artifact recommendation is attack plus 108 and max Brave plus 330. As shown, Edward is a superb support character who has utility and debuffing capabilities. He has immersed longevity with his high skill uses, slightly fast recast ability, and no skill usage when return is used. He can battle the party with all his skills except for return, and his debuffs have some pretty nasty effects. The Brave Gain notification from Spoony noise can be devastating on sub-bosses, and Sleep can be a very clutch debuff. The evasion on Budding Courage puts him at the same boat as Arden, where he can be used where bosses have a mechanism where they attack characters with the lowest or highest HP. He especially shows his capabilities in Lufania, and trust me, I've used some of them. As for Palum, he is a good splash-based ice DPS. While I can't see he lasts very long considering Lufania is right around the corner, you should not underestimate his power. His skill's potency is huge, and spamming dual cast isn't bad considering it now does splash damage. Since Stardust's recast speed is increased, it can now be up with every skill used and with every 2 to 3 dual casts or brave attack pluses used. He literally can go ham with damage all around, especially since he inflicts Ice Imperil and grants himself Ice Enchant. During the times I use Palum, his EX basically hits cap almost all the time. However, I wouldn't say he's a necessity, as you can safely skip him, which is what a lot of you are probably going to do considering he doesn't have the best personality in DFFOO and he's so gay. As for Edward, I would very much recommend him, especially if you need a character who has utility, can battery, and can debuff. Anyways, that'll be all for this video, and again, thanks to DeciduDB and Famitsu for all the info I gathered for this video, and I will see you next time.